Hi, I'm Sandi Genovese, and today we're going to look at how easy it is to make a pop-up gift card holder. Here you can see that I've got just an envelope, and inside we're going to see how easy it is to make this gift card holder that pops up so that when you give it to the person, how cool is that? And then they just can put it in their wallet and they're good to go. This surprised me because I thought it might be kind of tricky. When I'm building a model for something I haven't done before, I usually do one out of copy paper. In fact, I have my little model sitting here that just was what I used in order to figure out how to build this. So if that tip helps you, that's fine. In order to start, I've said this before, but you always want to start building this a size that will fit the envelope. And so if you're going to use the size, I can't remember if this is an A6 or an A7, but I measured it. It's 4 3/4 by 6 1/2 is the size of my envelope. So that dictates the size of my card. And that means that my card started out 6 inches wide and 11 inches long. And the first thing that I did was I folded it in half. Now to create that accordion pleat, I came in an inch and I used my scoring tool to mark. It turns out that my ruler, the width of my ruler is exactly 1 inch. So I just laid the ruler down and then did my score. And it doesn't matter that I'm actually going through and scoring the next page because I'm going to fold them together. So using that score as a guide, I am going to fold both of those pages, both sides. So I end up folding it. Then you open it up and you just reverse. I'm going to leave this fold, and I'm going to reverse this mountain fold into a valley fold. See how easily you've now created a pleat. So you've got a mountain fold and 2 valley folds. And this is going to create the card. Just that simply. You do want this to stay shut, but you don't want to impede where the card is going to sit. So you want to put adhesive, but only on the bottom tip. So what I'm going to do is take this strong adhesive and I'm going to flip this over, and right along that folded edge, I'm going to place my adhesive. So I'm going to remove the backing and place my adhesive. The adhesive is pink and I'm putting it on red paper, so I'm realizing it's probably not showing very clearly to you. As soon as I stick it down, I'll hold it up and try to let you get a better view of it. I'm going to trim it off the excess. And if I kind of move it around a little, maybe you can really see this edge. Now I've got to remove the backing off the top of this double stick tape. I can hear it. There we go. So I'm now pulling that backing off, and all I have to do is close this up and press right along that edge, and that gives me a good seal. So I've now created the structure. Now we need to create the little notch that's going to hold the card. And what I did was I just took the card. So you take the gift card and lay it down, and with a pencil, I mean, you can mark. I'm just going to eyeball when it looks like it's in the middle, but basically I don't need too much to go down too far. I'm going down, I don't know, probably between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch. And I'm going to just, with my pencil, I'm going to trace right along the plastic card. So I've just created the marks. Then I'm going to go back with scissors, and I think that it's easiest to cut both of the ends first. So I'll cut this end, and then I'll cut this end. And it looks to me like I went pretty deep. Maybe a 1/4 of an inch is about how far in I went. You can vary it. Then I'll just go back with my scissors and trim right along my pencil line. I'm cutting through both thicknesses from that folded edge right in the center of the card. And I've created the notch. Now, and because my adhesive is only down at the bottom, Now all I have to do is just slide it into that groove, and it holds it perfectly. So now you have it closed and you open. I just think that's so fun. And it's time to decorate. Let's start by decorating the cover. So the cover, I've taken patterned paper, and I'm just going to put, let's start with this one. I'm going to put some adhesive, and my adhesive needs to go to roughly right about here. Realizing you can't see, so let me move a few things. I know I say this every time, but you're going to do more adhesive than this. I'm going to line this up. This is not cut on the trimmer, so I'm going to line it up with the top of the card, which just means I'm going to have to trim off the excess off of both ends. Lay it down and then trim the excess off that side and then off of this side. And then I'm going to go back and I'll add a detail to the front cover. I like mixing patterns. I just think it's a fun look. So I've got the floral pattern mixed in here with some striped paper. And I'll tuck it right against that edge. And once again, I'm going to just trim off the excess. And then I decided to add a flower to kind of go along with the stylized floral design that's in this paper. And I thought I would show you how easy it is to do. In fact, you know, this was my inspiration. Here's one that I've done. And if I take the white pen, I thought I'd just show you right next to it. Basically, all I'm going to do is draw a wobbly white circle. I'm going to get my white pen started. Okay, so I'm going to just draw basically a circle, but not a perfect one. So it's kind of just a wobbly circle. And then I'm going to start, it doesn't matter where, you can see I could start at any place. I'm going to start by creating the petals. Go with like a sliver of a moon, and then here I'll start here and work my way around. I can see I've got my pen angled, so I'm going to turn it a little so I get a stronger white. Keep going around. And you just keep moving. It's not perfect. It's not meant to be. I like some of what I'm calling petals to be thicker, some to be thinner. It's just basically, you know what? It's doodling. It's fun to do. And I love how unexpected the result is. Once you have all of the white filled in, then if you want to add a detail on the inside where it looks like the inside of a petal of a flower, I'm just using a black pen to add what would look like the inside portion. And then to give some depth, I'm going to go back in, and in case that white isn't quite dry, I'll use this one. But I'm just going to pick some of the petal sections to highlight with my red marker. And since the pink is a bright pink, it's just a few shades darker. And I'm just going to skip around. I'll do that one. I think I'll do this one. Once again, I think the more random it looks, the better it works. I like it when it doesn't look perfect. But if you like it to look more symmetrical, because you're making it yourself, you could do that. I think I'll do this one. And notice I've in coloring it in with the red, I have obscured the white in a few places. So I think I'll go back when I'm finished with my white pen, and notice this line here, I'm just going to brighten it back up. I'm just going to go back with my white. And the same thing, I've accidentally gone over the white pen here. So I'm going to add the white back. So you can do all those details. Once you have it designed and decorated to your liking, I am going to just cut around. I want that white edge to show, so I'm going to go just outside the white edge all the way around. And once you have it cut out, then I layered it on top of pattern paper. So I'll just put adhesive on the back, and here's my tweezers so my hands are out of the way. I'm going to just place it, and I want some of the white and some of the black to show. So as I position this, I'm going to position it in such a way that I try to make sure I have some white showing. I just like the look of it. So that's going to be a good place for it. And now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to trim, leaving an edge of black that shows all the way around. Adding the black really helps it to pop, and it highlights the black and white stripe paper that we've used. It just helps to have that extra reinforcement of that color. And because it's black and white, it's just so bold and graphic. I think it works well with what feels like such a modern graphic design as this particular flower. So I've now got this decoration. I'm going to place it on here, but I'm going to raise it up with foam adhesive. So I'll put some foam adhesive on the back and remove the backing. And then go ahead and attach this basically somewhat in the middle. And then it's time to add the leaves. And what I did with the leaves is I just took some, once again, black and white dots, but a different size. And instead of black with white dots, this is white with black dots. It feels like they are like cousins, which makes it seem like they sort of go together. And then take the black pen, and I'm just going to, I liked having, if you go back and look at it, I liked having the edge show. So I'm going to draw, normally with something simple like a leaf, I wouldn't bother to draw it. I would just cut it. But I'm going to draw it because I want to leave that black line showing. So you're going to draw a few leaves. I'll go ahead and I'll cut around it, leaving a little edge so that the whole black line shows. And then when you're putting adhesive behind paper that is little and it's difficult to hold on to it and still get your adhesive, I've shown you this before, but in case you missed it, use a sticky note and have the sticky part of the note hold it in place for you while you add your adhesive. And then go back and peel off. Now you've got your paper, and you can decide where you want your leaves to go. Let's say I'll start with this guy right here. Now I won't stop to cut out all of these, but when you trim these other leaves out and position them, you can see how quick and easy this is going together. And it's not like, you know, we're editing things out. You're really seeing it real time. The other thing that I did, if you look inside, is I added the details on the inside. And once again, I just took more of the same patterned papers. So I would take, I won't stop to glue this down, but I would position this patterned paper and glue it down. And I know somewhere I've got that black and white stripe paper is still hanging around somewhere. I can add this below. You can see how I'm going to do that on the bottom, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, just matching here and here. And we go back to looking at the finished one, and you can see all that remains then is just to take your gift card and place it inside. You know, when you give something like a gift card, it can feel a little bit impersonal, but when you have a presentation like this, it's so cool. You know, it's unbelievably easy to customize a gift card holder like this with just a simple little pop-up technique.